What if I told you that one of the greatest secrets of Jewish history, one that has been hidden for centuries, is about to be revealed? The truth that black people, especially those in Africa and the African diaspora, are the true descendants of the original Israelites, the chosen ones. This is not just a far-fetched theory, but a reality grounded in genetic evidence, ancient scriptures, and long-overlooked truths that are about to change everything we thought we knew about the origins of the Jewish people. But how is it possible that this vital connection has been suppressed for so long? And why is it only now, after centuries of ignorance and denial, that we are uncovering this profound story? Is it possible that for hundreds of years, the link between African communities and ancient Israel has been deliberately ignored or hidden? Could it be that something more divine, more sacred has been concealed from the world for reasons we may not yet fully understand? Could the African roots of Judaism hold the key to a deeper understanding of both Jewish identity and human history itself? In this video, we will uncover the hidden history of the African-Jewish connection, a story that has been buried beneath layers of suppression and misunderstanding. We will explore how African communities, such as the Beta Israel of Ethiopia and the Lemba of Southern Africa, are not merely practicing Jews. They are the true descendants of the ancient Israelites. You will learn about the undeniable genetic links that connect these communities to the ancient Hebrew tribes. You will also discover how references to ancient African kingdoms like Cush and Sheba in the Bible reveal a deep spiritual connection between Africa and Israel that has been ignored for too long. This truth, once revealed, will change not only the way we view history, but the way we view ourselves as human beings, interconnected across time and space. So if this video speaks to you, if it resonates with your soul, I ask you to show your support by liking this video, commenting below, and subscribing. Your engagement helps spread this healing truth to those who need to hear it most. Each like, each share, each comment is a piece of light that we send out into the world together. Let's take this journey of discovery and healing together. Let's uncover the truth that has been waiting to be shared for so long. As we delve deeper into the rich and often hidden history of the Jewish people, it's crucial to question everything we've been taught. The connection between African peoples and the ancient Israelites has been obscured for centuries, hidden beneath layers of bias, misinterpretation, and exclusion. However, as we uncover the layers of history and faith, a much fuller, deeper, and more powerful story emerges. One that ties the African continent directly to the heart of ancient Israel, revealing a spiritual and cultural bond that has long been ignored. This truth is more than just a historical revelation. It is a healing force, a divine message that calls us to reconnect with the origins of our shared humanity. Think about this. For centuries, African Jews have been living, practicing, and preserving ancient Jewish customs, yet they were largely ignored by the wider Jewish world. These communities, such as the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, the Lemba people in southern Africa, and others, have upheld the traditions of the ancient Israelites. The evidence is clear. Genetic studies have shown that these communities share ancestral ties with the ancient Israelites. The rituals they practice, the faith they maintain, the stories they tell, these are not mere relics. They are living threads that connect them to a heritage far older than many realize. But why, for so long, have these African Jewish communities been sidelined? The answer lies in the wider historical and theological narrative that has often sought to define Jewish identity narrowly. For centuries, the Jewish story has been told as though it is solely rooted in the Middle East, with little acknowledgement of the profound ties between Israel and the African continent. Why has this connection been so deliberately obscured? Could it be that acknowledging this link would disrupt a narrative that has been long entrenched in certain corners of society? Consider the story of Moses and his Cushite wife, Sephora. In the Bible, the term Cushite is used to describe Sephora, who hails from the ancient kingdom of Cush. Cush, located in what is now Sudan, was not just a neighboring region. It was a powerful civilization with which Israel had deep historical and cultural exchanges. Why would the Bible make such a point of noting Moses' marriage to a woman from Africa? What could this tell us about the relationship between the Israelites and the African people? The truth is, the scriptures are full of such subtle hints, pointing us toward a deep spiritual connection between Africa and Israel. Yet for too long, this bond has been overlooked, treated as a mere historical footnote, when in fact it is the key to understanding the unity and diversity of the Jewish people. This connection is not just spiritual, it's deeply rooted in the flesh, in bloodlines. The Beta Israel of Ethiopia, for instance, have practiced the Jewish faith for centuries, with many of their traditions mirroring those of ancient Israel. Despite being geographically distant from Israel, the customs of the Beta Israel, observing the Sabbath, circumcision, dietary laws, are remarkably similar to those of the ancient Israelites. This isn't mere coincidence. This is a testament to the continuity of Jewish traditions handed down through generations in Africa, keeping the flame of Israel alive in a faraway land. The Lemba people in southern Africa provide even more compelling evidence of this bond. For years, they've practiced traditions like circumcision and dietary restrictions that mirror Jewish customs. These practices were long thought to be isolated, but thanks to genetic studies, we now know that the Lemba shared genetic markers with Jewish populations, linking them to the ancient Israelites. This isn't just folklore, this is science, history, and faith, all converging in a powerful, undeniable truth. The Lemba's Jewish-like customs aren't simply learned traditions, they are a reflection of their ancestral ties to Israel. So why has this connection been hidden for so long? Why, when the evidence is so clear, have African Jews been ignored and excluded from the broader Jewish narrative? The answer is painful but necessary to acknowledge. History has often been shaped by forces of exclusion. These forces have kept the rich diversity of Jewish identity hidden behind a narrow lens of race, ethnicity, and geography. It has been easier for some to dismiss the African-Jewish connection rather than embrace the full rich tapestry of the Jewish people's history. But this time of exclusion is ending. The truth is being revealed, and with it, the opportunity for healing for all of us. The healing comes when we recognize that the Jewish people are not defined by one region, one culture, or one identity. The Jewish story is global. It is universal. It transcends the borders of Israel and spreads across continents, embracing peoples from all corners of the earth. The African Jewish communities are not outliers. They are an integral part of the Jewish story, and their contribution cannot be ignored any longer. To embrace this truth is to embrace the fullness of Jewish identity, a Jewish identity that is as diverse and rich as humanity itself. This healing process isn't just for African Jews, it's for all of us. By embracing the African-Jewish connection, we are healing the rift that has divided us for too long. We are creating a more inclusive, united Jewish community, one that recognizes the strength in diversity. We are acknowledging that the story of the Jewish people is not about division. It is about unity, shared faith, and shared history. We must also recognize that this healing is not just about history, it is about the future. The recognition of the African-Jewish connection is not a thing of the past. It is a living, breathing reality. African Jews are still here today, still practicing, still carrying the light of Judaism with them. And as they continue to carry that light, they are a living testament to the enduring connection between Africa and Israel. This story is not over. It is still unfolding. And it is our responsibility to honor that story, to celebrate it, and to ensure that it is passed down to future generations. This journey of discovery and healing is not one that can be undertaken alone. We must walk this path together as a united Jewish people. The African-Jewish connection is not a threat to Jewish identity. It is a blessing. It is a divine gift that strengthens the fabric of the Jewish people and makes it richer, more resilient, and more beautiful. We have the opportunity to heal the wounds of history, to reconcile, and to move forward in unity, embracing the fullness of who we are as Jewish people, connected by faith, by tradition, and by a shared divine purpose. So let's take this opportunity to honor the African-Jewish connection, to embrace it fully, and to heal the divisions of the past. This is not just about rewriting history. It is about building a future where all Jews, no matter their origin, can trace their roots to the same shared divine source. Let's heal together. Let's embrace this truth together, and let's move forward as one. The time for healing has come, and it starts now. As we continue on this journey to uncover the hidden truths of history, we come to realize that the connection between African communities and the Jewish people is not only deep, but divinely ordained. For centuries, the rich heritage of African Jews has been disregarded, marginalized, and forgotten by mainstream narratives. But the more we dig into the heart of these stories, stories of resilience, faith, and divine intervention, the clearer it becomes that this connection was never a coincidence. It was part of God's larger plan, a plan that stretches beyond the boundaries of the Middle East, embracing Africa in its divine embrace. The story of Moses and his Cushite wife, Sephora, is one of the earliest, most profound examples of this connection. When Moses, the great leader of the Israelites, married Sephora, a woman from the kingdom of Cush, modern-day Sudan, it wasn't just a political or cultural exchange, it was a spiritual union. The kingdom of Cush was one of the great African civilizations, rich in culture and wisdom, and its people were not strangers to the divine plan that God had for Israel. In fact, their connection was part of God's great design, bringing together two nations, two peoples, bound by divine purpose. Yet for so long, this relationship has been overlooked. Why? Why, after thousands of years, is this connection to Africa and the Jewish people only now being acknowledged? Why did history fail to recognize the integral role African communities played in the Jewish story? It is because for too long, Jewish identity has been narrowly defined, tied to a specific geography, a specific race, and a specific culture. But the time has come to challenge this definition, to open our eyes and our hearts to the truth that has always been there. Jewish identity is not confined to one region or one group of people. It is a global story, a story that includes all peoples who are part of the divine plan. Take the Beta Israel, the Ethiopian Jews, as another example. For centuries, they have practiced the Jewish faith in relative isolation, yet their customs and traditions are in perfect alignment with those of the ancient Israelites. From their observance of the Sabbath to their practice of circumcision and dietary laws, the Beta Israel's faith is not merely a reflection of Jewish customs. They are the living descendants of the ancient Israelites. Their community has been a beacon of faith, a testament to resilience, even in the face of isolation and neglect. Yet for too long, their place in Jewish history was not recognized by the broader Jewish world. Why? Because we have ignored the richness and diversity within our own shared history. By failing to embrace the full scope of Jewish identity, we've deprived ourselves of the fullness of God's divine plan for his people. The Lemba people in southern Africa further confirm this divine connection. For generations, the Lemba have practiced Jewish-like customs, including circumcision and dietary restrictions. These practices, once dismissed as coincidence, are now understood to be more than just cultural traditions. They are the remnants of a shared ancestry. The Lemba carry within them the same genetic markers found in Jewish populations, revealing a direct link between their people and the ancient Israelites. This is not merely a fascinating story. It is a divine revelation that calls us to expand our understanding of Jewish identity and to heal the divisions that have kept us apart for so long. But why has it taken so long for us to recognize this truth? Why did the connection between African Jews and the rest of the Jewish world remain buried for so many centuries? The answer is that the forces of exclusion and oppression have long dictated the narrative of Jewish identity. The dominant narrative, shaped by colonialism and racial prejudice, has separated the Jewish people into distinct, exclusive groups. This division has caused unnecessary rifts, keeping Jewish communities from recognizing their shared heritage. By embracing the African-Jewish connection, we not only enrich our understanding of the past, but also begin to heal the wounds that have been inflicted by centuries of exclusion. This healing is not just about history, it's about the present and the future. By recognizing the African-Jewish connection, we are taking a step toward unifying the Jewish people, recognizing the vast diversity that has always existed within the Jewish world. When we embrace the fullness of Jewish identity, we are embracing a more inclusive and united community, one that celebrates its diversity and strength, rooted in a shared faith, a shared history, and a shared divine purpose. Consider the broader implications of this revelation. When we accept the African-Jewish connection, we open up new possibilities for unity, understanding, and healing. We are not just reconciling the past, we are building a future where all Jewish communities, no matter their origin, are united in their shared history. This healing process requires us to move beyond the narrow definitions of identity that have divided us and to recognize that the Jewish story is one of unity, strength, and divine providence. By embracing this truth, we create a future where all Jews, regardless of background, are connected to the same divine source and bound by the same covenant. The African Jewish story is not a side note in history. It is a central, vital chapter in the ongoing narrative of the Jewish people. It is a reminder that God's plan for his people transcends race, ethnicity, and geography. It's time for us to recognize the beauty and power of this connection and to bring the African Jewish communities into the fullness of the Jewish narrative. Their faith, their resilience, and their devotion to preserving their heritage are not just admirable, they are a divine testament to the strength of God's plan. As we heal the wounds of history, we must also recognize the power of these communities to shape the future of Judaism. In accepting the African-Jewish connection, we begin a journey of profound transformation. We begin to heal the divisions that have existed for far too long and move toward a unified, inclusive Jewish future. The time for exclusion is over. The time for unity is now. As we embrace this truth, we are not just honoring the past, we are creating a future where all Jews, no matter their origins, can walk in the light of shared faith, shared history, and shared divine purpose. Let us step forward together, embracing the richness and depth of our identity, and walk in the light of the truth that unites us all. As we delve deeper into the spiritual and historical connections between Africa and the Jewish people, it's important to realize that the divine plan is not confined by geography, race, or time. It's easy to view history through a narrow lens, focusing only on the familiar stories we've been told. But what if the story we know is only a small part of a much larger, richer narrative? One that links the African continent directly to the roots of Israel and connects African peoples to the very heart of Jewish identity. This truth, long ignored and erased, is now emerging from the shadows, calling us to acknowledge the divine thread that unites us all. The African-Jewish connection is not a new discovery. It has been there all along, waiting for us to open our eyes and see the truth. From the ancient kingdom of Cush to the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, the historical evidence, the scriptural references, and the divine lineage have always pointed to the same truth. The Jewish people are not confined to a single region or ethnicity. They are a global people bound together by faith, purpose, and history. The time has come for us to embrace the richness of this truth, to heal the wounds of exclusion, and to recognize that the Jewish identity is not one-dimensional. It is global, diverse, and far more profound than we have ever understood. Take, for instance, the story of Moses and his Cushite wife Sephora. The Bible doesn't just mention her as a footnote. It tells us she was from the land of Cush, the ancient kingdom that spanned parts of modern-day Sudan and Ethiopia. This is no coincidence. It's a profound sign that Israel's relationship with Africa was not just one of neighboring lands, it was deeply intertwined. Moses' marriage to Sephora symbolizes a union that transcended borders, a divine connection between two peoples, each chosen for a greater purpose. What does it mean that this connection was recorded so carefully in the scriptures? It tells us that God's plan always included unity, a unity that broke barriers, broke boundaries, and drew together the peoples of the earth into one divine family. This divine connection isn't just a tale from the past. The African Jewish communities, like the Beta Israel, have carried this legacy through centuries of isolation, preserving the traditions of the ancient Israelites even as they faced persecution and displacement. Despite being far removed from the land of Israel, the Beta Israel have upheld the practices of circumcision, Sabbath observance, and kosher dietary laws, mirroring the ancient traditions of Israel. Their faith has never wavered. Their connection to the God of Israel has remained steadfast. For too long, these communities have been overlooked, but now the world is waking up to their rich and vital role in the Jewish story. And let's not forget the Lemba people of southern Africa, whose customs and practices have long been thought of as mere coincidence, until recent genetic studies confirmed their direct connection to ancient Israel. The Lemba, like the Beta Israel, have carried the flame of Judaism, preserving their faith in the face of hardship and passing down traditions that reflect their deep ancestral roots in Israel. Their story is a testament to divine providence, a reminder that faith and heritage cannot be erased by time, by geography, or by human prejudice. The Lemba are not merely preserving Jewish customs, they are living proof of the deep and unbreakable bond between Africa and Israel. The question we must ask is, why has this connection been hidden for so long? Why have these African Jewish communities been excluded from the broader Jewish narrative? Why has their faith, their history, their bloodline been ignored? The answer is painful but necessary to confront. For centuries, racial and ethnic divisions have shaped our understanding of Jewish identity. These divisions have caused exclusion, created barriers, and ignored the profound truth that the Jewish people are a global family, interconnected by faith, history, and heritage. However, the time has come to dismantle these barriers. The African Jewish connection is not something to be feared, it is something to be celebrated. Embracing this truth does not diminish Jewish identity. It enriches it, deepens it, and makes it stronger. By recognizing the African Jewish connection, we not only honor the African Jewish communities, but also honor the fullness of God's divine plan for His people. The Jewish identity is not just about one people or one land. It is about a divine covenant that spans the entire globe, uniting us all under the banner of faith, of love, and of divine purpose. As we embrace this truth, we must also understand the importance of healing. The Jewish people have suffered for centuries, but it is through reconciliation, through embracing the fullness of our identity, that we can heal. The African Jewish connection has been buried, but now it is rising to the surface, calling us to reunite, to recognize the diversity of our story, and to move forward as one unified people, united in our shared faith, history, and purpose. This journey of healing is not just for African Jews, it is for all of us. When we recognize the African Jewish connection, we begin to heal the wounds of exclusion, of marginalization, and of prejudice. We create a world where every Jew, regardless of background or origin, can trace their roots to the same divine source. This is the beauty of our shared heritage. It is not confined by race, geography, or ethnicity. It is a universal divine story that transcends all boundaries. As we move forward, let us commit to embracing this truth. Let us celebrate the African-Jewish connection, not as a side note in history, but as a central, vital part of the Jewish story. Let us honor the faith and resilience of the Beta Israel, the Lemba, and all African Jewish communities who have preserved their heritage and their connection to Israel despite centuries of hardship. By doing so, we not only honor them, we honor God's divine plan for His people. We embrace the fullness of our identity, and we open the door to a more unified, inclusive, and compassionate world. As we continue to move forward in faith and unity, let us remember that this journey is about healing, reconciliation, and divine connection. The African-Jewish connection is not a footnote. It is a testament to God's eternal love, a love that spans time, space, and all peoples. Together, we are stronger, and together, we will continue to walk in the light of this divine truth. Let this story of unity, healing, and divine purpose guide us toward a brighter future for all. As we draw near to the end of this profound journey, we come to realize how much more is intertwined in our shared history than what we have been taught. The story of African Jews and their deep-rooted connection to the ancient Israelites isn't just an uncovering of hidden truths. It is a story of reclaiming our spiritual heritage, a story of healing that we, as a global family, desperately need. These truths were veiled for so long, buried by history's own hand, but now, through faith, science, and divine revelation, we are witnessing the restoration of what was once lost. The connection between the Jewish people and African communities runs deeper than bloodlines. It is a divine tapestry woven with love, faith, and purpose. This isn't just about recognizing an historical truth. It's about the profound healing that comes with understanding and acknowledging that the Jewish people are not confined by race, geography, or time. The divine plan was never meant to isolate us. It was meant to unite us. The stories of the Beta Israel, the Lemba, and other African Jewish communities are not just fascinating relics of the past. They are living testimonies to God's eternal love and the promise that He would bring all peoples together. These communities have carried the light of Israel through centuries of adversity, preserving faith and traditions that reflect the divine covenant of Israel, even when they were forgotten by the larger world. But why has it taken so long for this truth to come to light? Why have these communities been silenced, their rightful place in the Jewish narrative overlooked? The answer lies in the painful truth of exclusion, racial prejudice, and a narrow, divisive view of Jewish identity. For centuries, the richness of Jewish history, including its African roots, was denied. It was easier to perpetuate a single monolithic vision of the Jewish people than to embrace the vast diversity within it. However, as we now understand, the Jewish people are not defined by one land, one culture, or one race. They are defined by the divine covenant, one that stretches across continents, that binds together peoples from every corner of the earth. In recognizing this truth, we are healing the wounds of history. This healing goes beyond academic discovery. It is spiritual. It is the healing of a people who have long been divided, the restoration of a family that has been torn apart by misunderstanding, prejudice, and injustice. By embracing the African-Jewish connection, we are not just acknowledging the richness of Jewish identity, we are fulfilling the divine promise of unity and reconciliation. This journey is not only about uncovering the past, it is about shaping the future. By honoring African Jews and recognizing their integral role in the broader Jewish story, we are creating a more inclusive, united, and loving Jewish world. When we acknowledge the African-Jewish connection, we are healing divisions that have existed for far too long. We are honoring the fullness of Jewish identity, embracing its diversity, and stepping into the light of a united future. The truth of the African-Jewish connection is not something to fear. It is a blessing, a gift that strengthens and deepens the Jewish people's faith, resilience, and purpose. And when we embrace this truth, we heal. We heal the divisions, the misgivings, and the prejudices that have kept us apart. But this healing is not just for African Jews, it's for all of us. It is a collective healing that transcends racial and cultural barriers, bringing us closer to the divine plan that unites us all. Now, if this video has touched your heart, if it has inspired you, if it has brought you closer to the truth of our shared history, I humbly invite you to show your support. Your energy, your comments, and your engagement in this journey mean the world. When you like, comment, and subscribe, you are helping to spread this message of unity and healing to others. Your support enables me to continue sharing these vital messages, to continue bringing light into the world, and to help restore the fullness of the divine story. Every contribution, whether big or small, helps keep this light shining. And your words of encouragement inspire me to continue on this journey, to keep exploring these truths and sharing them with the world. Your presence in this journey is invaluable, and I am deeply grateful for it. You are not just an observer in this process, you are an active participant in the healing of our shared history. Together, we can build a future where we are all united, where we recognize our shared humanity, and where we walk together in the light of understanding, love, and divine purpose. Thank you, from the depths of my heart, for being part of this movement. Your support is the fuel that keeps this journey going, and together we will continue to uncover the truths that unite us all. Through our shared faith, our shared heritage, and our shared future, we will heal. Together we can create a world that honors the richness of Jewish identity in all its forms. Let's continue this journey, hand in hand, moving forward into the light, united in love, and embracing the divine purpose that binds us all